This is Math 2, 12.3 notes. That's Math 2, Unit 12, Lesson 3 notes. The title is Angles Formed by Tangents and Chords. We are going to draw a circle, and a tangent line touches a circle at only one point. So it doesn't go through the circle, it touches the outside, the edge of the circle at only one point. That is a tangent line. All right, a chord goes through the circle but is not a diameter, so it does not go through the center, so it looks like this. Well, I guess a diameter could be a chord, but we're not talking about diameters. It's just a line that goes through the circle, but does not have to be through the center. Okay. Now, I am going to give you that this measure down here of this arc is 140 degrees, and the measure, we'll put this other one here, of the bigger arc would have to add up to 360, so 360 minus 140 is 220. Okay, so what you'll need to know is these angles here are not central angles, they are inscribed angles because they're on the edge of the circle. Even though they're not two chords, it's a chord and a tangent, it still works the same way. So it's still half. Half of 220 is 110. So this angle in here is 110 degrees with the chord and the tangent. And this angle on the other side is 70 degrees. Okay? All right, let's try some examples. Number 1, what is the measure of each arc? Blank and blank. Okay, let's draw our picture, our circle. We're going to draw a tangent line. Remember that tangent line touches the circle only once. And I'm going to draw a chord that comes from that point like that. So it's not a diameter, it's a chord. I'm going to give you that the angle on this side over here with this chord and that tangent is 115 degrees. And that is it. Okay, so knowing that is 115 degrees, how do we find each arc? Okay, what do we know for sure? We know that this arc here is twice as big as the angle. Remember that. 115 times 2 is 230 degrees. So one of my arcs is 230. It doesn't matter which one I write first. It doesn't verify, so I'm just writing that one first because that's the first one I found. And I know that because this is an inscribed angle, so it's half the length of its intercepted arc. The arc is, well, the angle was 115, which means the arc is 230. Now, there's two ways of finding the other arc. One way is just knowing that all the way around a circle is 360. So do 360 minus 230, and you get 130. So this arc here is 130. That's one way. Another way a kid might do it, oh, and you're done, 130, you're done. Another way a kid might do it is say, well, I know this here is a straight line, and straight lines add up to 180. So I'll call this x and do x plus 115 equals 180. Subtract the 115 and x equals 65. So this angle is 65. And that makes sense because 115 plus 65 is 180. But they're asking for the arc, and the arc is twice as big, so 65 times 2 is 130. However you think about it is up to you, as long as you're able to get the answer. Okay, number 2, find x. All right, I'm going to draw my circle here. I draw my tangent line and my chord. Okay, and I'm going to put over here x equals blank. Alrighty, what's going to be the given information on this one? I'm going to give you that this arc on this side is 260 degrees. The one on the bigger side is 260 degrees. And I want you to find the angle here, x. All right, two different ways of doing it. Cut the 260 in half. Find this angle is 130. So I'll show you that way first. If this is 260, this angle here is 130. And we know those two angles add up to 180. 130 plus x equals 180 minus the 130 from both sides, and x equals 50. That's one way. I would like to talk about the other way because it's totally up to you on how you work this one out. Some kids will say, hey, I know that all the way around a circle is 360. So if this is 260, this here must be 160. And then, 100, sorry. If that's 260, this must be 100, because 260 and 100 is 360, and then half of 100, because the angle's half the arc, half of 100 is 50. However you do it, so we did 360 minus 260 is 100, and then we took the 100 and cut it in half. However you do it, it's up to you. Okay, number 3, find x. X equals blank. I'm going to come back and box that one in. Okay. We have our circle. Okay. I'm going to give you that this angle in here is 8x plus 6, and the arc out on the outside is, and this is degrees, and the arc, the smaller arc down here is 18x minus 4. Okay, so I gave you the little angle on the inside and then this smaller arc on the outside. Find x. What's the relationship between these two? Are they equal? No, remember, the angle is half the arc, or the arc is twice as big as the angle, however you want to think about it. Now, for me personally, if I'm going to be solving an equation, I'd much rather double something than cut something in half. So I'm going to double the smaller one, and the smaller one's the one on the inside. 2 times 8x plus 6 equals 18x minus 4. Now, if you wanted to, you could do half of the outside equals the inside. It works the same way. I just rather not work with fractions. 16 plus 12, and that's 16x. 16x plus 12 equals 18x minus 4. All right, I'm going to subtract the 16x, and that gives me 12 equals 2x sorry, said it right, wrote it wrong. 12 equals 2x minus 4, and then I'm going to add the 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 equals 2x. And the very last step, I'm running out of room, but is to divide both sides by 2. And luckily it's even. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So x equals 8. All right, that is it for this lesson.